in the universe. And after that, I'm nakakaloka. Okay, so I'm enjoying the activities in our solar system.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
I'm just imagining that I am coming from the solar system and then enjoying a lot of activities in the planet Pluto and then coming back to my room. Here it goes, at your service. I'm coming back. I am a senior regional voice, your YouTube creator, and your social media influencer. Problem number three. I have taken the coffee now, a very hot coffee. Oh my gosh! Nakakaloka. Okay. And just imagine that, guys, because with in my elementary, okay, I really love that thing, okay, to what is really about in the solar system. And it came to a point that I want to become an astronaut, something like that when I was in elementary. When I go in high school, it was changed. It suddenly lost into my mind to become an astronaut because I feel maybe it's very difficult, it's very hazardous, it's very risky. Like that, I changed my mind to become a prominent broadcast journalist when I graduated in my high school. Okay, because having also my award as a journalist of the year, then I also wanted to become a certified and a legit broadcast journalist in the future by having mass communication course, major in broadcasting. But suddenly, it was not offered for my presidential scholarship. Okay, so that's why I took up chemical engineering because it's listed there. Okay, all types of engineering that you can choose. And then since I love chemistry and a little bit of math, then that's why I choose chemical engineering. Okay, it's gonna be like that. The most closest in the engineering I love is actually the mechanical engineering, to be honest. Okay, but I found out also since because me also maarte sometimes like not maarte na because I don't want also to be more on physical. Okay, that's why I choose chemical because the setting is only in the in the process and then you don't have to be oily. Mechanical is another thing you have to repair whatever. You should be physical, something like that. So in order to avoid that, chemical is best for me because chemical reactions like that, laboratory experiments. So it's more on not really that what do you call this one? Not too physical task. Okay, because sometimes if you don't have your mechanical technician or you don't have somebody, even though you are a mechanical engineer, you need to work with that for yourself, right? Especially if you don't have an assistant, since you know about mechanics, you know about machines, you know about equipment, and you know the principles about how to repair whatever, then you will do that by yourself. Okay, as a mechanical engineer, it doesn't mean if you're a mechanical engineer, you are purely on reporting, designing, or theories, or it's not all about that. You have to also do it actual, the same as what the mechanical technicians are doing. Okay, like that. What do you call this one? Automotive. Automotive courses, 2 years vocational courses, right? It talks about the dismantling and of those physical parts of automobiles, something like that. Would it be a car or anything else, or a refrigerator or whatever? It talks about machines, any equipment, name it. Okay, so it's gonna be like that, more on mechanical, right? Okay, so that's the thing I really decided for chemical engineering. And then the other one also, if not, BS chemistry. Because I love chemistry that much. And then my older sister, who really supports me also for the pliti-pliti, something like, though I'm a scholar, but still I have the transportation of the pliti-pliti issue. Because the school, the university, that was not university before. I think CIT is just an institution before. It has just changed late 2000, something like that. It became a university. So graduate ako, university na siya. So it's gonna be like it's very far from our place. Then there's a pliti-pliti issue. Then my sister also, who is a regular employee of one of the electronics companies in the MEPS, Tayo Udin Philippines Incorporated, then she supported me in transportation, blah blah blah, so and so, like that. Okay, you got the point? Nakakaloka. So BS chemistry they don't like. Though I like, okay, but they don't like because they want also something, something, a name, a title before my name, something like that. Like that. Engineer, Sotero, Elio, Mosino Jr. They want title, but me, I don't like. Enough for me, BS chemistry. Since before, I don't want position like that. Me, as long as I love, that I have to pursue first, but I respect them in the family. So it's not only my own decision, right? So that's why I follow them, BSCHE. Though I love BS Chemistry talaga siya, because there's no other choices, BS Chemical Engineering, because I respect them, they wanted me to become an engineer. Something like that, especially my older sister. Okay, so that's gonna be the story. Though I love also BS chemistry that much. I love BS chemistry because focusing in chemistry, right? I don't have to worry about math because since I'm not good in math. I'm average only in math. Okay, so to tell you honestly, okay, so wala siya yung tabo. Charot. Okay, so that's it. And my father also wanted me to become an engineer, blah, 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 so on so. Now, when I passed the board examination, I tried to apply in the same school in which I graduated, right? To teach math, science, something like that. And it come to a point, I think as far as I remember, I was selected ready, but they offered me minimal units. It's gonna be 8 or something 12, some 12 units, something like that. But again, my parents told me too small, something like that. So you need to really practice your special. I am very respectful to the older people when I was very, even up to now, what I'm trying to say, I respect the decision of my family. Okay, not solely for me, like that. So if I accept that kinds of offer, then I am not here in front of you. Maybe I'm teaching now chemistry, physics in the universities or whatever, something like, or maybe I am going abroad but teaching profession, not like this. Okay? And then I really respected them, and then I experienced of what is really being a chemical engineer, something like that, for about 2 years after my graduation, something like that. Okay, so my experience on the geothermal power plant, something like not a permanent, but we are the contractor in a geothermal plant in Malek geothermal power plant in California Energy in Ormoc City. And now it became the National Oil Company in Ormoc. So what we did there is we analyzed the water, the calling water, the boiler water, the potable water. We test and analyze the water parameters so that it will shoot to their different processes for their piping system, whatever, for the tanks. Then we have to buy our water treatment chemicals. So basically, our company is a water treatment chemicals, originally from South Korea. And it is a branch in Cebu City, Philippines. So, meaning to say, I am the one who I am the technical analyst for that. And we are assigned in the particular energy company, the California Energy, which is now an oil company, NOC, National Oil Company in Ormoc. Okay, because before that was not yet the government owned. Maybe now they transferred that to a government already. I'm not really that sure. Okay, because the point, because I don't research na talaga what happened then. Okay, so that's my first experience. Chemical technical analyst of the water parameters, microbiological analysis of the water, something like that. It's really related to my profession. But in a small scale, because that is laboratory setting. Because chemical engineer are designed on a larger scale, not on the smaller scale in the laboratory. It should be in the process if you are a chemical engineer. Okay, so that's the difference between a chemical engineer and a chemist. Chemist is on the small setting in the laboratory, but a chemical engineer will be on a larger scale in the process, checking the parameters, operating conditions, so that your operations or processes will be healthy, or meaning to say, in good condition or moving, so that you can release useful products dili alato without any defects or whatever, or any problems in regards to the parameters or operating conditions. Diba? Checking the quality. Basically, quality assurance department, something like that. Okay, under quality assurance and also under the production thing. Okay, something, it depends on the situation on the plant factory, something like that. Okay, so it's gonna be, I love really that base chemistry. Okay, now, since I am now here, I'm acting now as a, what do you call this one? As a replica of legit professors and instructors. Meaning, replica meaning a shadow for those who really legit instructors and professors who really studied who take up, units on teaching. Because I am not legit instructor and professor. I'm just acting because I have a YT channel. This is I love also sharing my information and I love reporting. I love communicating, something like that. So I am also a trainer before. Then I can easily transmit my knowledge through effective communication skills, something like that. Okay, so you can notice me right. So that's gonna be like that. Okay, any questions so far with my background? Like, okay, so after that, for the water treatment analysis, being a chemical technical analyst, I also become a chemical analyst in Lapu-Lapu, you know that one? That is Chemrock Industries. Okay, so I also a chemical analyst there. And after that, okay, as the time goes on, for the span of 2 to 3 years, something like I cannot exactly remember. Okay, after that, I applied for a beverage industry. Okay, then they said the Cebu is vacant for Coca-Cola Bottlers Philippines Incorporated in Cebu. Then I applied also. Okay, this is very challenging, guys, because so many applicants from Manila, from Mindanao, from Cebu. Guys, I'm not intelligent. I'm just only, what do you call this one? Conversant. Conversant. What do you mean by conversant? I forgot. What's the definition of conversant? Meaning, I'll drive it with effective communication skills every time there is a question to be asked to me. Something like that. And I can easily answer spontaneously without stoppage. Like that. So that's a gift to me from God. Really, naturally, and my instinct is just like that. Okay, especially in an interview. So I don't have to prepare anything when I face an interview. Something like that. And also, it's a gift also during examination I can usually pass. Okay? Di ba gift siya ni Lord if that is the case? Because you don't prepare and then exactly it will just come out naturally to you. Okay? Ganon. Di ba? Ganon siya. And then, ako lang i-share ninyo guys ha, because dito lang naman kita. We need to share this to our younger generations also as inspiration and a motivation that we can also make by ourselves. We are unique, okay, to each and every one of us because God gave us different talents in every one of us. All you have to do is to utilize well our talent that God gave to us, something like that. And we need to improve that for our self-improvement and our own individual growth as a person. Wow, something like that. Okay, so we apply for the Coca-Cola Bottlers Philippines Incorporated. That was an international company in Cebu. So they have 4 lines. They have the Coca-Cola, the Real True Orange, and the Lift, L-I-F-T, the yellow orange, yellow green, and they have also the Sprite, right? And then they are, hiring a chemical, not a chemical engineer, a chemical laboratory analyst to be assigned in their laboratory, something like that. Okay? Okay. Really, guys, I passed the examination, and we are very so many at the time. We are 4 out of something. Yun ang ako i-mention. Yun ang inom ko yung habuliro. Okay, something like that. So I passed, and then two of them from Manila. Okay, one of them from Cebu, me, and the other one is from Mindanao. So we are different schools. We have also from Ateneo, something like that. The other one is from Ateneo. Me is from Cebu Institute of Technology. The other one is University of San Carlos. The other one is from Mindanao. I forgot what's that? I mean, IIT, something like that. IIT-UM, University of Mindanao Iligan Institute of Technology, something like that. NSUIIT. Okay, that's the other one. So, four. Ganon. So, lahat yung school. Nakakaloka. Uminom sa kong coffee, guys, ha? Okay, panel interview na yun. Okay, so panel interview, there's a lot of questions facing so many department to department, the quality manager, something like that, the HR manager. So actually, we are not in simultaneous during the panel interview. We're scheduled a different date for our dates, for our final interview. Okay. Honestly, I was sad, something like that, because but I am sure I'm already passing that one because we can feel right after an interview, they will congratulate you, but they will never promise anything. Something like, okay, wait for some time, so you will hear a call, blah, 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 so and so. I'm sad because they called me in the phone, they said, sorry sir, because we already got another, meaning to say, out of four, the one to our plant. Like that in Cebu. Because that is my target because I'm a Cebuano. I want to work in Cebu. Why should I work in another province? I'm from Cebu. So I'm very sad. And anyhow, sir, there's an open for Tagbilaran. Okay? So we can assign you there. Are you okay? So, yes, ma'am, I'm okay, whatever. But can say my heart, I want to Cebu, but I have no other choice. Right? I want to experience more of being a chemical engineer, something like that. Of course, I have to grab the opportunity, something like that. I say yes, and I was assigned in Tagbilaran Board. And I was very, very happy because their lines are only two. Royal to Orange, three? Royal to Orange, Coca-Cola, and Sprite. Three lines. We don't have the lift, the yellow-green, just like Mountain Dew equivalent in Pepsi. Something like that. So I'm very happy because at least the tasks are not more. Three lines only to control. So I was assigned in the quality assurance department as a product quality engineer, something like that. And then undergoing computations, like or whatever, and we will submit to the chemist, and the chemist will mix their upside, but we will wait for our computations. What are the proportions to be mixed? So that we can create a production on a day-to-day basis. Something like the carbon dioxide, the concentrates, the water, the beverage product quality index, something like that. Okay, so all the parameters, and we have also a very big lab book in our quality assurance department. Guys, quality assurance department Coca-Cola is very standard. Really, there's a lot of books inside the department, and then every 6 months we have an examination to calibrate our competence. Because Coca-Cola is an international company all over the world. And then, as much as they could establish and hire competent chemists and engineers in their plant. Grabe siya, guys. Every 6 months or every 3 months, mag-exam. Lagi, grabe din. Ang tolerance po nila, guys, positive and negative point something lang talaga siya. And if it is more than that, iyabugin na naman siya sa kanal. If ma-turn off, ma-off taste ang carbon dioxide. Okay, because by batch na siya, guys. Di ba paspas kayo mo agi ang mga butilya. Ganon. Kasi kayo mga kilos dito. Buha na siya example every 5 minutes like that. And after that, we will tag that as QC passed. It has been passed already the certain parameters on our tests, QC tests. Okay, something like that. And wear always the white lab gown, o diba? Something like that. So, masaya siya. Okay? And then, so many overtime. Like that, dili ala tool, something like that. And then, sometimes also Sunday have overtime because that is buckling. 24 hours buckling. Then you have to be there as a chemical engineer or whatever, what you call them. Okay, nasa sa QA, Quality Assurance Department. And then, maduka ko ato, guys. Because iba na, okay, grabe kit mga overtime. Charot. Okay, 24 hours dun siya. Diba? Guys, dahil mga training siya, whatever. Grabe kit standard sa Coca-Cola, guys. Okay? Mag-training mo, ganun-ganun. Diba? And then, mag-training mo na mga production department, mga quality manager, mga quality supervisor, mga production supervisor, all departments, and also the QA department. You will rent a hotel for training. For example, the training will be project management team. Ganon. Safety related nga mga training also have. I have trainings in Coca-Cola Bottlers Philippines in safety. Okay, before I'm not yet become a certified and allegiant safety engineer, I have already the experience of, attended a training of safety. But that was in terms of manufacturing safety, not the construction safety, right? You get the point? Something like that. So that is my experience in Coca-Cola Bottlers Philippines Incorporated. Ganon. So, ako yung isay-say. Ako yung kasunod sa kungkuan. Okay, now, that was the time also na pumutok yung Taiwan, right? You get the point? Somewhere along the way na most of the graduates goes to Taiwan, Republic of China, because, the salary is too big. I stopped and I resigned there. Because if I did not stop and resign, then maybe I am now also a supervisor or whatever. Okay? I resigned and applied for Taiwan. Okay. Aligay siya guys. Okay, kuan siya guys, electronics industry. I don't have an idea about electronics. But since chemical engineer also studied electrons, okay, that's only the thing that we know most. Electrons, protons, like how it behave. Okay, electronics industry, so that's the electronic configuration, that's when we have electronics semiconductors industry. So even though I'm not assigning in the, in the real world of that electronics industry, we have already the basic knowledge of what their products are about. Diba? Because of chemicals. Okay? You get the point. Electronics mode chassis. And they're also our study. Okay? You get the point. Ganon. So, grabe kaayo guys. Daghan kayo nag-take dito sa kuan, Shangri-La Hotel. Pila ka to kabuok ko eh. And I was very, very blessed also that nakuha ko sa 10. Would you believe it or not? I was the first who are called on that particular Taiwanese. Really. It doesn't mean that I'm the top one for particular, but I was being called number 1. So, pero, aligre siya guys. Okay? And that was my first job in abroad, going to Taiwan. And very lucky, okay, because I was assigned also in the quality assurance department, okay, but in electronics industry. Okay, so meaning to say, it's also partly related because it's about quality also. And I can easily adjust. When I was in Taiwan, I can easily adjust because it's more on the quality thing. And I have experience also in the, in the quality assurance of the Coca-Cola Bottlers Philippines. Basically, it's just the same, the general concept of quality. But only the specific product, label product is different. Then you can easily manage, right? Like that is management, quality management. It doesn't matter for me. Whatever product, as long as you have experience in quality. For me, okay? So you got the point. Yes, that's it. Okay, and I finished the experience there for 3 years. From 2004 to 2007 in Taiwan, Republic of China. And after that one, Middle East na talaga siya. And up to now. Okay, but before here, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, something like that, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and come back now again here. Okay, I think it's gonna be my third time. First, I was assigned in Dubai, and after that, Al Kubar, and after that, now here. So 3 times I go Saudi, guys. Okay, 3 times, and 2 times kung nag-Qatar, and 1 time kung nag-UAE, United Arab Emirates, and 1 time ko sa Taiwan, something like that. Yes, that's the total coverage of my total work experience of being a safety engineer and a chemical engineer, right? Okay, nakakaloka. Di ba? Makakamitan. Ganon. Then, this present job of mine is very strict, and I don't know. And then, when I apply this also, I am also the one who passed. Only 1 for safety. And I don't know, maybe there are others or basta ako na dyan ang ipasar sa safety. Okay? I don't know guys. This is a gift from God, right? I don't know. I can't explain. Unexplainable. Charot. Nakakaloka. Okay, and then, this, before, they asked my license, my PRC license ID. And I was shocked because it was not really a common thing to ask if you go abroad. It's not an issue. When you go to abroad, it's not an issue if you have a license card or not, to be honest with you guys. Except for reputable company just like Sabic Industries and Saudi Aramco. They will always ask for your PRC license card, but it's not really a requirement, only a highly preferred, but it's not really the mandatory, something like that thing, okay? Because I remember also in Saudi Aramco, they find my license card of my profession. Here also they find, even though not high salary. Okay, and then I told my sister to, to send me in the messenger after my interview there in Cebu, because they are asking for my, it's no longer needed. Okay, but they ask my PRC license ID. Okay, I wonder why. Nakakaloka. Okay, maybe also for the integrity or for the reputation, something like that. It's needed that for the competence, calibrating of the competence of the department. At least there must be at least one licensed engineer. I don't think so. That's only my interpretation. Okay, but because for me it doesn't matter at all. Okay, honestly. But I wonder why they ask for that on action. If I know, then I will bring my license card during the interview. Then I don't bring, right? Okay, then I told my sister to scan that, like that, and send me in the messenger so that I can show that to the employer. Okay, something like that. To cut the story short, I am here in front of you. Doing vlogging. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ano itong sasabi ko sa inyo guys? Number 3 na tanong. Okay. Okay. Physics. Oo, number 3 problems nakakaloka. Okay. Oh, nakakaloka. Okay. Asa na lang po ako makuha? Asa na lang guys? Ikapoy ko guys. Okay? Ikapoy ko yaw-yaw sa akong kuhan. Okay, akong kaagi. Grabe sa akong kaagi, oy. Di ba? Nakakaloka. Grabe sa akong kaagi guys. Abot ko kung kuhan. Kanang Dumaguete City to compete for a certain, what is called this one? Editorial writing competition and sports writing competition in journalism. Okay? So, grabe yung kaagi kasi dapat ko dito sa kuha nila ang lugar. Charot! Nakaloka. Diba? So, too much for that. Okay, question number 3. Okay, but despite of that, I will never consider myself as an intelligent. Okay? Average lang talaga siya. Little bit average. A little bit high average. Okay? So, number 8. Nakakaloka. Okay? Number 8, the problem goes like this. 1,200 kilogram, what's this? 1,200 kilogram. But guys, I will share to you guys, I'm not topping in the top 5 on the NCEE. I'm just top number 8 in the NCEE. In the Naga National High School, and then we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, out of all graduates, all students, I was top number 8 on the NCE. I'm not topping in the top 5 because I don't study at that time. Okay? So I didn't expect to be in the top more, something like that. But despite of that, I still landed within the top 10. NCE meaning National Collegiate Entrance Examination. Okay? You need that score prior to your intermediate education in college. So that I think they will get 85% up for your NCEE so that you can take up engineering course, something like that. In CIT, it's not an issue. Even though you can get only 80 or whatever, you can still apply for engineering. But for the University of San Carlos, as far as I could remember, they will only get 80% up NCEE to take for engineering. Okay, but before, in CIT, as long as you have good grades, like that, it doesn't mean that you should have a very high score of NCEE. Okay? National College Entrance Examination. That was in 80s and 90s, right? But now they changed to something new, right? The NSAT or whatever. Laila lang na karon. Magkakiba kung saan na siya. Okay? To the point, mga palangga, kung saan na siya, guys. Okay. Our top one is our valedictorian. Okay, for that NCE examination. 1,100 kilogram cars speeds like that. Okay? So ako na lang itungan guys. Okay? Disclaimer, I am a bronze academic excellence. Okay? In our school before. So you know what's the meaning of bronze? Yun na yun. Okay. Di ba we have gold, silver, bronze, then yun na. I received I received the academic or bronze academic excellence lang siya. But it's okay. Okay? Speeds up from, nakakaloka. Ako yung i-asal ako mga kaagi. Charot! Okay, 25 meter per second. Okay, to 60 meter like this, 60 meter second in 5 seconds. Ganon. Okay, like that. Okay, now what is the acceleration of the, what is the acceleration of the car? La car na po. Oh my gosh. I imagine that I will drive a car, a Toyota Camry, a luxury car. Nakakabisa. Ang misyuso. What is the acceleration of the car? Okay. Ganon. Okay. Letter B, mga kapatid. What is the net force acting on the car? Nakakaloka. What is the force acting on the car? I will tell you honestly and frankly, the car will not move if there's no force. Okay. The car will not move or anything will not move if there's no force. Period. Okay? Like that. I will show you how. Later I will explain. Force acting on car. Okay? And we need force every time. Or else, you don't have salary. If you are working in a field, okay? For example, you're a labor, you need to engage with your forces, right? To do the task, to lift the object, to rotate the object. If, for example, if the pipe parts, if you're a mechanical technician or whatever, force is very important mga palangga kung gitan. If there's no force, then we don't have money. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so how can you do the task if there's no job? Then you cannot create movement, motion. You cannot deliver things from one place to another. Right? You get the point? Ano ba siya ka-simple? If the car experience ganon. So, ganito say guys, relevant yun ang science to day-to-day life. Okay? Science good siya. If the car experience, okay? Because through science, you can get money. Okay? If the car experiences a constant ganon, okay, a constant, nakakaloka, a constant frictionless siya? Frictional force. Okay, frictional force. Okay. Kalit sa nakuha ko of 3,500 Newton. Okay. And then, what is the average force? Libog-libog rin siya guys. Doon tamo ha. May libog-libog ano. Kasi if you take the examination, you take down the ambiguity. You know ambiguity in English? Ambiguous terms. When you say about ambiguity, we need to say that's the term that is having no relevance in the paragraph or in the sentence in your problem solving. So that is ambiguity or ambiguous, something like that. So that is doubt or confusion. Oh, in journalism, we call that as a jargon terms. That is not relevant to your article, but still it's being injected there to only add an articulation of your article. Articulation meaning appearance, if it is look and perceive, like that, just like a decoration in the house. So that's only the purpose, but that is a jargon, meaning no relevance if you try to dig it up, okay? Meaning ambiguity or ambiguous. Usually, there's an ambiguous adjective that make the students confused also, okay? Like that. This is also the one reason that most of the students or examiners will fail. Aside from poor in English, not really poor in English, we need to say they cannot understand very well how the sentence and phrase of the paragraph or the problem is being presented. Normally they will be confused, including me. O diba? There's no excuse. What is the average? Okay, all of us, right? What is the average force? Okay. By the engine. Oh, gusto ko ng engine. Mechanical juga guys. By the engine of the car. Oh my gosh. Engine of the car. Nakakaloka. Talaga? Okay. So if I will take a look at the word engine, so many things comes to my mind. I will be thinking about efficiency, I will be thinking work output, I will be thinking work input, I will be thinking the mechanical advantage formula, like this. So many things comes on my mind, even though I see only one word. Really? Okay, I'm just wondering why. Okay? So what? Another problem. A 1,200 kilogram car speeds up from 25 meters per second to 60 meters per second in 5 seconds. So what do you notice in this first sentence? Okay. This is accelerating because this is starting from 25 meters per second to 60 meters per second. So this is not decelerating, you know? So you need to say the speed is gradually increasing. You need to say positive acceleration and positive velocity or speed. Okay? In 5 seconds. Okay, ganon. Question letter A. What is the acceleration of the car? Nakakaloka? Diba? Okay. So the first thing that comes out in your brain cells is that you will use the ordinary acceleration is equals to velocity over time. Then acceleration is equals to Vf plus Vo divided by time. Right? Okay. And distance is equals to the velocity times time. So we can say also as 1/2 initial velocity plus final velocity times time. You will use this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Why? Klaro pa siya na initial velocity of 25, na siya ay 60. Okay? Pasok mo sa bangka rin. Tak, tak. Nasa isa, tak, tak. Ganon. Nasa initial final velocity. Bingo, makakuha din ka sa what is being asked. But, do not rely on that. Okay? Do not rely on this equation because this is equation at a constant speed theory. Okay? The theory will help also. Okay? Because so that you can save your time. You will go directly here. Instead of having the theory in your brain cells, I will never use this because it is at a constant speed. Here, see, car speeds up from 25 meters per second to 60 meters per second. It's not constant, your speed. You get the point? It's changing. So you cannot use this equation so far. That's your first option or assumption. Okay, let's forget for a while. Okay, now we have the linear kinematic equation here and the other. So this is a constant acceleration. Now, it is applicable here or not? Okay, it's applicable here or not? It's applicable because the car is moving from 25 meters per second to 60 meters per second, meaning the acceleration will be delivered is constant at 5 seconds. So you will use the equations and formulas based on constant acceleration, not constant speed. Okay, this is a theory. Before doing the solving, dahil ito mag-solve, pero okay, theory, di mo malimtan, masango, biya ka. Because, you know, after the answers, it will not be on the choices. There's something wrong on your analysis. It will go back to theory understanding, not on the problem solving. Okay, because problem solving will just be there. You can do anything, variation, whatever, but the theory is very important, okay? A constant acceleration. Okay, so you will use now the katong madaghan tayo. Okay, guys, pwede na kung so ko sa akong equations na ganiton, but I need to emphasize. Okay, like that. So we have Vx squared is equals to Vo squared plus, okay, 2AD. And another is we have also distance is equals to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 times acceleration. Equation 1, equation 2. And we have also Vf is equals to V plus acceleration times time. It's gonna be 3. Do we use here the instantaneous velocity or not? Instantaneous. Okay. We can still use also because we have a changing velocity. So instantaneous velocity is equal to ganon. Nakakaloka. Is velocity initial plus velocity final over 2. Or this is just equal your average velocity. Averaging, right? Okay, like that. You can still use also this one. Okay, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use the displacement because there's no distance being mentioned in the sentence. So it will be also equal as final distance minus initial distance over the time. So this is also your another version of your instantaneous velocity. But since we don't have distance reflected in your problems, you don't force yourself to attach to this particular equation. You go to that average velocity that involves initial and final velocity. Sometimes common sense will work also, so that you can save your time. Okay? You get the point? Ganun talaga siya in facing problem solving. Okay? So, what is the acceleration of the car? Okay, so you need to solve for here or here. Take note, with this 5 seconds, ganon, okay, and then the mass, the velocity, and the final velocity. So, you will attempt to use equation number 3. Why? Because it's very useful, direct substitution only. Right? Oh, di ba? Okay, so ano ka? Oh, final velocity, 60. Okay? Is equal to initial velocity 25. Oh, because it's given. Unless it is not given, guys, meaning to say, it is started from rest. Meaning, initial velocity is 0. Anak siya pero sa problem ha. Basta linear motion ganyan mga palangga kung hintag. If it is not mentioned the initial velocity, automatic yun siya 0 ang initial velocity, guys. Because it's understood to be at rest. Okay? At rest. Whether it's an object, a car, muna siya technique chupa-chucho. So, hindi maglabad ang ulo. Okay? But in here, dimension man yun ang initial velocity, you have to carry that also in the equation. Right? Something like that. So, plus acceleration, ang time na araw, 5 seconds. Okay, so we can compute for the acceleration. That's so, right? Ay naglabda ng ulo kung so nag-GBI. Okay? So, nakakaloka. Okay, ganon. So, 60 minus 25, palaga akong hitan. 60 minus 25 is equals to, divided by 5. Oh my gosh, 7 meter per second squared is our acceleration. Okay. Your constant acceleration in this problem is 7 meter per second squared. Okay. Nanaka. So, erase na nato. Okay, gamit yung space. Makalagot. Okay? I cannot explain comprehensively. Okay? Because limited space. Nakaloka. Diba? Okay. Ganon. So, ano na yun? Ano na siya acceleration ay, okay? Mag-iniw kasi mga brain cells when you are solving. And you also imagine that you are there, you are driving, things like that. So that you will be enjoyable. It would be enjoyable to solve problems if you put yourself into the actual scenario you are imagining only. Okay? So, that's what I told you. One characteristic of an engineer is to have a wild imagination. The same as a scientist. You can play around all possibilities that's going on so that you can attach the theories and concepts in there. And you can derive equations, additional equations based on equation. Something like that. Okay, now we have this acceleration. Okay, now, what is the force acting on car? Nakakaloka, di ba? Car. Car din na siya. So, dito siya box. Okay. Klaro kayo car o. Okay. Diba? Dimension ba yan? Okay. Now, maala din ka sa car. This is a car. This is a Toyota Camry. There are a lot of Toyota Camry, right? Like that luxury car. Okay. This is Junjun driving the car. Okay. Junjun. Okay. What is the force acting on a car? Ganun na yun. Dili mo ma-apply ka itong mga FDD diagram because this is really moving, not starting from the rest. Okay, you get the point. So, yeah, bagan ka ng mga velocity. Okay, this is not related to the forces to but you or to the first body diagram, whatever. So, you will apply the second law of Newton, Isaac Newton. Okay, force is equal to the mass times acceleration. Okay, ganon. Okay. Now guys, acceleration is being computed, check. And the net force, take note guys ha, wala dibutan ang net, but it's understood to be net force. Things like this ha. Okay. So this is F net times the mass of the car times the acceleration. Something like that. If you try to solve to the force net, you can solve immediately, right? Force net is equals to the mass of the car, 1,200 kg. Okay, that's the acceleration of 7 meter per second squared, so Newton. So how much is that? Your F net. Okay? Your F net mga palangga kamitan. So it's gonna be 1,200 times 7, that is 8,400 Newton. Okay? 8,400 Newton. Okay? 8,400 Newton. Okay, I use this. Actually, guys, if you try to be strict also, be careful because this is only good if there's no frictional force. If there's a friction somewhere along the way, for example, there's a rough road, like that slippery road, of course you will adjust your speed, right? Because you have to drive slowly, something like that. So you will adjust also your acceleration. So you could not be able to have already a 7 meter per second squared. It's not constant already. Because this is just constant because the road is assuming to be soft like that, there's no obstruction, there's no rough surface, so it's gonna be true. But what if there's a frictional force? You can never use this anymore. You will use the FBD. Imagining lang, FBD. This is a frictional force going there, and we have also the force going there to the horizontal. So in this case, another attack of equation to be used. Okay, but in here, what the problema? Because continuous motion and a constant acceleration. Okay, now, we have the F net here. Ganon. Like that. Okay, nakuha na nimo ang force acting on the car, which is 8,400. Okay. Ganon. Ano na tayo sa letter C? Okay na, sakto yun sa akong brain cells. Okay. C. If the car experiences a constant frictional force also, take note. Constant frictional force of 3,500 Newton. What is the average force by the engine of the car? Nakakaloka. Actually, dili naman na siya buta pa ang engine. Uy, actually, it's okay also to the car. Libog-libog na siya sa mga sentence, guys. Ha? Bahay, ang problem. Okay? Pero libog-libog na siya. What is the average force by the car? Ganun kaya siya. What is the average force by the engine of the car? It looks like dynamics, mga lawang na siya ng mga equation ba Sally Carnot cycle of, efficiency with a constant temperature, exothermic reaction, gano'n. Kaya tulad ng word ng engine, naging pasok sa inyong brain cells. Hindi sa kagugulong sa mga efficiency, mga mechanical advantage, formula, work output, work input. Pwede naman ulit ang tama ng engine, guys. Okay? So, ipalubog rin namin sa estudyante. Kaya ang number of estudyante, naglain. Diba? So, yabo na yun. Okay? So, muna siya. Pwede na siya, what is the average force by car? Not necessarily saying, what is the average force by the engine of the car? Ano kakaloka? Diba? Syuada. Okay? Di ba nakakainis din sa yung statement? Paliko-liko. Okay? So, okay na lang. Naman yung butang. Hindi na natin na-listen. Okay? Ganun siya. So, naman kay car guys, no. Hindi mo naman kanakay net force na 8,400. Oh, what do 8,400, diba? Yes, 8,400. Okay? So, ang kanina net force, guys, diba, nag-move forward ka, mga palangga kumitan. Okay? So, we need to say this is positive. 8,400 Newton. So, ang Toyota Camry, forward moving velocity, nasi kuan, net force na kuan. Okay? 8,400. Okay. Tignan mga palangga, kani siya net force ni siya. It's not the horizontal force going left, it's not the horizontal force going to the right. And our horizontal force going to the left, namatay frictional force na gihatag. So, opposite siya sa imong horizontal force na upadong sa right. Okay? So, like this. You'll put this as an Fx. And this is Ff. Ff is frictional force. Fx is your force applied in going forward with the corresponding velocity. Okay. So, ano din mo siya? F net, okay, is equal to negative frictional force plus Fx. Ganon. So, this Fx is the horizontal force. Is this what we mean by what the average force by the engine of the car? But this average adjective put prior to force is just only a trick. T-R-I-C-T. You know, trick. Mojuli kasagaran sa mga problem solving na siya mga tricky part. Okay? So this is no longer relevant. Because you will say also, average force is equals to net force plus blah 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 because ang imong itanaw, average yun siya. Okay, averaging what? Baka plus initial plus final divided by 2. matintal na yun ka. Now, mo, frictional force plus Fx horizontal force divided by 2 can give it away average force. Right? So be careful. This is only a trick. Okay? This average force is just only the horizontal force needed by the car. Okay? And in the first place also, it's not being taught also in our kinematics and motion equation like this average force is equals to F net, frictional force plus applied. There's no such like this. But acceleration and velocity have. But except for the forces. Okay? Ganon. Sometimes, magdadua itong utok na mo na itong gamitan. So, mora na siya guys ha. Just like, magbubuyak sa akong distance and speed. What is the average, speed if you drive a total distance of like this, blah, 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 so and so. Actually guys, dili na siya yung speed 1 plus speed 2 divided by 2. It's not like that, or speed initial plus speed final divided by 2, because the adjective average is in your brain cells. Just like average percent in singing competition, you will add criteria of judging voice quality, timing, like that, divided by 4. It's not like that here. It's not literally here in the problem. Maybe you apply for sure. It's really related, right? Mo nang matingkal ako banpod. You get the point? So there's no such average force na atuon yung pag-compute. Or there's no average force na atuon yung pag-compute. Akong paruhon ha. Okay? Again, mabalik-balik pa ba na dyan sa mga future examination? Sure. Naagi na siya period ang mga motion, velocity, acceleration. Okay? Nakakaloka. Basta physics, ano na siya dito? Average speed. Okay, anak ba yun? Okay? Okay, anak ka mo. Ano na gano'n? Average speed is equal to distance over time. Right? Balik siya. Ang kanina pasabot ng average speed, guys, is an average speed that you will obtain through the total distance covered. Okay? The total distance from point A to point B is not the displacement. It's not the difference between the distance final minus the distance initial. And it's not also saying distance final plus distance initial is equal to 2 because you are dependent only from the word average. In which in English, that is the definition in Webster Dictionary. You have to add 2 points divided by 2. That's the definition of average. Okay? Averaging. Okay? So, ayaw siya yung sundaan ng part. Okay? Sa speed. And also the force, wala sa siya. Marami ka. Average force, marami ka. Average force is equals to force 1 plus force 2 divided by 2. Or frictional force plus applied force divided by 2. It's not. Why? Because the direction is not the same. May negative, may positive. Okay? And at the same time, wag yun na siya ka-formula yung ana. But nasa velocity, o nasa sa acceleration. Okay? You get the point. Now, it's in here. Okay. F net, ano din ka? Muna na siya yung F net, nakuha mo sa law of acceleration ni Isaac Newton. So, 8,400. Okay. It's equals to negative frictional force. Naghihatag sa problem, which is 3,500. Okay. And you can compute for the horizontal force Fx nga average force directly. Okay? You get the point? Maroon dyan mo guys. Yung sabi ka yung mga literal. Okay? You get the point? Nakakaloka ka. O diba? So, 8,400 plus 3,500 is equals to, we have 11,900 Newton horizontal force of the, by the engine of the car. Okay? 11,900 Newton. Okay. What you need a horizontal force of 11,900 to move your Toyota Camry from one point to another. Okay? Okay. Solve na ang letter C, letter D. Okay, nasolve na po. Okay. Force acting siya. B, and then A, acceleration. Guys, ang confusion part na nandun is letter B and C. Sometimes you will interpret this force in letter B as your horizontal force, and sometimes the net force. But take note that the English, how it's being stated. See, what is the force acting on the car? We need to say net or totality. Okay? So we'll use the F net here. Okay, but take note in the English, in the statement. Okay, what is the average force by the car with this kind of frictional force? Oh, Diba? So, dili siya pareho. Because the net force guys, ang giingon ni Kuan, ni Isaac Newton, wa pa na siya mag-consider dito sa mga friction. Okay, ano naman siya, force is equal to mass times acceleration. But in a free body diagram, in the kinematics, linear motion, we consider the friction. Okay, so that's why you will not interchange the B and C in your understanding regarding the force acting and the average force. Because both are forces. You get the point? Muna ang lipong part ang mga problem. Though the sentence is very easy to understand, actually this is not a difficult problem. What makes it difficult is how you interpret and analyze the problem, especially if you are not good in English. Okay? Right? So we need to analyze also the punctuation mark, the comma, the period, because it matters a lot where to stop, because your operating condition will be based also in that way. Especially in chemistry, so much like a temperature and pressure. Sometimes that temperature pressure is no longer on the other side. Then there must be a period, or there must be a comma. Understood that this operating condition is only the component A. Like if you cannot understand that, so maglibog ka. That's why you need to understand also punctuation mark, preposition, linking verb, acting verb, mga ganun, adjectives, pronouns, and how it is being phrased in a sentence. Okay, that's why I told you it's only to understand and to pass an examination, especially engineering related course and not other course. You only need to be good in science, math, and English. Okay? Again, if you're taking engineering courses, you need to be good only in math, science, and English. No other. Okay? Makapasarjun ka. Whereas kung wala naman nila ito, siya studies, mga Filipino, humanities, logic, puno-puno naman na siya guys. Okay, that's why that's minor subjects, right? Okay. So muna siya. And most niya ang issue sa kasagarang mga bright. Okay, bright is sila science and math, but there's something wrong in the English. Kabantay mo, ang mga bright hindi sila makakommunicate well, directly, indirectly or indirectly. They are straightforward. They will never explain that much. Okay? So, but bright ka na sila guys. Pwede na tiyungan. They will close their eyes to solve problems. Only problem sometimes is the English communication. But admittedly, most of the average students are good communicators, English communicator. Average lang siya, di talaga siya mga bright as in. Okay, you got the point? That's why an effective instructor and teacher is average, not intelligent. You get the point? Because an intelligent will always expect his students to be in a level of his intelligence. That's why he kept on giving examinations very difficult. Then they cannot understand. That's why normally they will fail. Too much high standard if your instructors are intelligent. You get the point? But average, you have to balance. You get the point? So that the students can really pass. Okay? Muna siya differentiate between a genius instructor and an average instructor. Usually, disclaimer, not all, because there are also genius, instructors can have, fair exams. But usually, I'm trying generally, okay? Average instructors are more effective, generally. Okay? Subjective, ha? Okay? It depends on the situation. Okay? Subjective, it depends on the situation. Okay? You got the point? Ganon. So, perfect. I'll get the answer here. I write the answer here. Oh my gosh. Okay, 7, perfect. What is the response factor of the car? Or 3, perfect. Okay, let's see this. Perfect. Perfect is because the answer is flat. No point something, point something. In this kind of problem. See? 7 meters per second, equals to 400, 11,900. There's no point something. So, of course, maparihog yun siya. Okay? Because I write the answers before solving. Okay? Like that. Okay? Mga siya mga technique, mga palangga hitan. Okay? Now, another technique also is solve first before referring to the actual solution. So that you will learn. Okay? Rather than looking first and then you will just to recalculate. That is not challenging. You are already calculating. Okay? You get the point? The best way siya is solve mo on the spot yun. Okay? Para it will measure your IQ in terms of math. Okay, and science as well. Okay, any questions so far? Yes? Okay. Ganon. Okay. Practice makes perfect also. Okay? Get the point? But did you kalikayan guys yun? Ano yung mga problem ba na ikaw, Jude? Lagi. Like me, I have also, reviewer, like that. And then the actual simulation, what you check to sa mga reviewer? Get the point? It doesn't found there. What I did is I create my own equation and formula. I'll just connect all the formulas and equations that I memorized. And then I can create also another formula in which I never encountered in my whole years in my study. Like that. On the spot. Nakakaloka. So, at that time, igugod mamamis na ako, our head of chemical engineering, head of chemical. Hoy, Sotelo! Imo yung gitik-tik. Because I was the last examinee who went up in the examination room. Okay? As much as ako remember. Okay? Kaya sa kuwan man to siya, question chemical engineering. In the third day, something like that. Wa ko kasabot, nabutbuhat ra jud ko. Lagi, okay. Nakakaloka. And thanks God, ang akong chemical engineering may pinakadako sa tulo ka coverage. I was wondering why nakakaloka. Okay. Okay, nakakaloka. So thank you so much for watching. Any questions so far for this physics? Di ba ang physics, dili ka siya kung ano, di siya kay kuti-kuti. Kung ano siya, dili ka siya ikuan ba? Nakarelate, kung marag, wa siya nanginanglan og mga deeper, constants, kailangan mo yung itoki, in order you can put that in the equation, nothing, right? Except for kanang mga gravitational force, di ba, kay Newton, o kanang mga electrostatic forces, physics mo magyapon siya na mga constant superchucho, di ba? Okay, but for here, motion, superchucho, hindi ka man ang guess, no? Acceleration due to gravity na Joule, 9.81 meter per second squared, or 32.2 feet per second squared. Ana ra. Okay, and then understand well the whole framework of the three laws of Isaac Newton, the three laws of motion. Plus, katong uban-uban na pwede rin mong kuan-kuan. Lagi, ano siya. Okay ba? Others say it's more difficult than chemistry, but for me, easy siya kaysa chemistry. Okay? For me ha? Lalahi mo ito guys. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. If you think you're not subscribing to the channel, you can subscribe and you can also click the notification bell for some news updates about my singer channel voice. Bye-bye. God bless everybody. See you later. Wala na ko yung time. Matulog na ko. Char! Nakakaloka.